Alright, well hello and welcome to another narrated battle, this time against jboy from the Pokebeach forums. Now, apologies for the lighting in the background, but this had to be recorded during the daytime so that I could do a nighttime recording of the match against Echo Song. And this was to test the same team that I played Echo with, so you'll see the same faces as you did in that game. Now, he led with Blaziken, which I hadn't even actually seen in a competitive game, but like Echo, he didn't like the starting matchup, so I don't see what Blaziken could do to set up, so I decide for an Earthquake anyway, and for Alligator doesn't really take too much from that, so since I don't like the situation now, I'll go U-turn and I'll switch out to Vaporeon. He Dragon Dances, and he Dragon Dances again now. You must not have been expecting Hidden Power Electric on my Vaporeon, but it doesn't KO, so that's a little bit annoying, but that's the way the game goes. And now he brings in Jolteon to absorb Hidden Power Electric, which is quite cool, it's a good move. And I'm going to switch out because I do not want to leave Vaporeon in against Jolteon, obviously. He subs up as I go to Snorlax. He then gets a crit with Thunderbolt, but as you could make out as it, coming along, it doesn't actually do too much at all, even with a crit. Less than just under 200 damage from his strongest move is nothing. I break the sub, and he gets a second crit, which did annoy me a bit, because now, he's done twice as much damage over the course of 2 turns that he should have. I should have been in perfect condition at this point, and I wasn't. I didn't paralyze with Body Slam either, so I didn't exactly get much of a, comeuppance off of it. But that's the way it goes, and rather than flat out killing him, as you've seen in previous games, I prefer to keep my guys alive as much as possible. So I rest up this turn instead of actually Body Slamming. Yes, it gives him that extra turn, and he can switch out now, but I can always kill Jolteon later on. Now he brings in Weavile, as I decide just to use up a turn of rest because I can afford to. And Vaporeon's a pretty good Weavile counter, so I send that in quite happily. And it's got Life Orb, so it can switch moves quite nicely. I protect to see what it wants to do, and what it wants to do is Taunt, which is quite cool. It means that I can't use Wish as freely as I'd like. Night Slash doesn't do that much, and Surf doesn't kill, but it puts it way in range of a knockout. He switches now to go for Alligator, probably expecting another Surf, but I went for Protect, and it failed, of course. He now goes to Jolteon, probably expecting the Hidden Power Electric, and I Wish. I don't want to leave Vaporeon in against Jolteon, and I don't want it to sub as I Protect, so I go to Breloom, but for some reason he switches as well and goes to Blaziken, of all things to go to. But that turns out good for him, of course. The only thing Breloom has now is its Toxic Orb activated. I have to switch out, and I go to Gyarados because I expect a Fire move, and it comes out to be Flare Blitz, which is fine. Now, I know even if I Dragon Dance, I'm not faster than Jolteon with an Adamant Gyarados, so I Waterfall, and of course it pays off because he goes straight to Jolteon and Jolteon dies. Nice move from me there, I guess. Now, he brings in Blaziken again, so it has to be faster than me and has Thunder Punch, so I switch out straight away to Gliscor. He brings in Suicune and I U-turn because I want to keep momentum. I considered Stealth Rock, but U-turn was the superior move. And Breloom is a decent counter to Suicune normally, so I go for that. He brings in Blaziken and I put it to sleep, so good move from that. I decide to try and set up, and he's staying in, which kind of scared me, I must admit, so I had to go for Mach Punch here. And he switches out to Weavile, which is completely perfect. Mach Punch will kill that very happily, and I'm in a good position here. He goes to Salamence, and I'm semi-cursing not getting rocks up at this point, but I'm pretty sure a Fire move is coming, so I go to Gyarados to take it, as well as intimidating it. It also has Life Orb, so I know it can switch moves, and Outrage comes along, It kills Gyarados, so Gyara didn't really do too much, but it means it's locked into the move now, and Heatran can come in and revenge kill. I get lucky with a crit, but with 394 special attack, I'm actually wondering if that mattered at all. Even if it didn't actually work, then, you know, as a one-hit KO, then it wouldn't take too much from Outrage. He brought in for Alligator instead of Suicune, which I was kind of weird about, but it gets killed. Blaziken comes in, and I don't fancy not, you know, doing too much to it, and I switch out to Gliscor. Turns out that it's Scarfed, and I overpredict. You know, I didn't expect him to stay in, so I U-turned instead. And he sleeps for a long time. I think it's about 3 turns in total he stayed asleep for. He wakes up now and he's Thunder Punching. You know, I'm really wondering about that, because I didn't think if you stayed asleep you'd be able to change moves, which means he must have been Thunder Punching right from the word go, which is a bit of an odd move when you're actually keeping it in against Gliscor. But who am I to say, you know? I get all of my health back because of a well-timed wish anyway, so it's all good, you know, I'm not particularly fussed. Suicune's the last thing he's got, and I don't want it to get too much of a setup. I'm pretty sure Vaporeon can't kill it, so I go to Breloom. And he makes a misplay here. He goes for Rest when he's at full health without status. That was a bit of a silly move, but it does tell me it's probably got Sleep Talk as well, so... And it does. So he Sleep Talk Surf, which annoyed me a bit because I never Sleep Talk Surf on mine, but that's just being sour. I 2-hit KO with Seed Bombs, so there's no problem about, you know, killing it in time. He Sleep Talk Surf again, and the only way he could have won this here is if he got a crit with this. But it didn't get a crit, and my bigger than standard HP pulls me through quite happily. Seed Bomb kills, and that's the game. It's a 5-0 finish, I believe, and yeah, that's it. Good game, jboy. Thank you guys for watching, as always, and I'll see you next time. Take care.